All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order.
Rachel, Katie, Sarah,
Here.
Jeff Borno,
Here.
James,
Here.
Gary,
Here.
Jeffrey.
Here. If everyone will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for a moment of silence for armed services personnel. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Are there any items to be added or changed to the agenda?
There is not?
Recognitions and acknowledgement. Personnel, we have new hires. GIS teacher Jada Freeman, educational assistants Bria Baker, Amy, I'm sorry if you're here, Guardo. Constance Hall, McKenna Kwiatkowski, Myra McLeod, Bayer Moyer, Brenda Mund, Kelly Opperman, Cheyenne Ritter, Skyla Stacknick Rickman, Olivia Warren, and Elise Williams. Food Service Secretary Helper Christina Lenardowitz. And do we have any of our new hires here today?
We do have some from a previous meeting that we'd like to introduce.
Then please,
Now is the time.
please do it this time.
Excited to introduce Bailey Holshoe, who is our new lead preschool teacher. As you remember, we're adding some additional preschool classrooms. Bailey has actually worked for us since, I think, December of 2021 as an educational assistant, and she's spent the last few years in preschool and just received her bachelor's degree in early childhood education, and we're really, and a GCS grad as well.
Yes.
So we're excited to welcome her into this new role. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bailey, welcome back.
Thank you.
Jeffrey, there's
Welcome.
two more.
Thank you.
I saw that.
Did you?
I
Okay,
just went down
bring it
through
to-
there.
And I am going to introduce, we are welcoming Diana Respecki to North Ohio. She is a community member. She has at least 18 years of experience with elementary age students. She has tons and tons of experience in interventions, data collection, literacy. So we are very excited that she is going to join our amazing North Ohio elementary staff.
That's great.
Thank you.
Welcome, congratulations.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome.
That's all of them? Okay, that's all of our, and I didn't scroll down, we do have two other new ones, food service helpers, Jessica Schoening and Amy Delker Huff. Resignations, we have bus driver Doug Heppenstall, GIS secretary Lindsay Pallas, educational assistants Jenny Kodat, food service helper Renee Mason, and Gaylord Middle School wrestling coach Aaron Beach. And those are all of our resignations. Public input? All right, we have a couple of names that I don't recognize, so I'll go real quick. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. You'll be addressing the board and not the crowd, so please address us. We'd just like you to keep it cordial to whoever you're speaking to, and I guess that's, and we will not be addressing you. If you have a question for us or something, we will get back with you, but it will not be a dialogue. We'll just listen to what you have to say. And we have 2 public inputs, so if you want to skip this one and do the last one, that you can do that as well. Okay? First up will be Maggie Jensen.
That would be me. Hi,
You have the floor.
my name is Maggie Jensen. I just wanted to get up here and tell you how important sex ed is to kids. I taught 5th grade for 24 years at GIS. I've been retired now. But I also taught reproductive health for 24 years to 10 and 11-year-olds. And it was really important to let kids know how their bodies are changing, both physically, you know, and emotionally. And we had a couple classes, a boys' class and a girls' class that are split. We had parent meeting at night before the classes, and the parents could pull their kids out of the class. In 24 years, I had one kid pulled out of the class, period. And the parents like it, that they know that the kids are aware of what's going on with their bodies. And it's nice that it's age appropriate. You know, for the little kids, it's good touch and bad touch. For 10 and 11-year-olds, their bodies are changing and they need to know how. And the older kids, age appropriate sex ed is really important. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Next up will be Helen Craig.
Hi, that's me. So I met many of you last January when I came to present on the legal aspects of the Sex Ed Advisory Board. I'm your school health coordinator for all Sheboygan Otsego Presque schools. And I was involved in the group throughout their process, especially at the beginning when they were starting to look at curriculum. And I would just like to commend everyone's work on that Sex Ed Advisory Board, Mr. Keck for his organization skills, and all of the adults involved. It can be a really contentious topic, and I think they did a wonderful job working through questions and what the needs are for Gaylord Community Schools. So that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That is all of our public input. We'll move on to the consent agenda. We have board minutes. It is recommended that we approve the board minutes from the August 8th, 2024 workshop, special board meeting minutes.
I will make the motion to approve the board minutes from our August 8th special workshop board meeting.
I'll second that.
Any questions on those minutes?
Drop the treasurer's report right on the consent agenda as one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry.
All of
Okay,
it.
My apologies.
that's fine.
So I'll move on to
Can
the
we-
treasurer's report. Do we,
Can we retract that, or how do we?
yeah,
I have.
okay, you're, I screwed up, so.
That's fine. We have to make the motion to approve the consent agenda, correct?
Yeah, that's correct, yep.
So I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
All right, well, let me finish up.
Treasury report?
Let me finish up with the treasury report. General fund and athletic fund bills in the amount of $3 million. Cafeteria fund bills in the amount of $35,000. Sinking fund bills in the amount of $290,000. In prior period adjustment in the amount of $0. That is the end of the consent agenda.
And I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Any questions on all that? Sorry for my screw up. All right.
Sarah,
Yes.
Jeff Borno,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Jeff Weaver.
Yes. GCS reports, we'll have, Mr. Keck will give us on the Sex Ed Advisory.
So this is
Board.
gonna take about a half an hour. Do we wanna excuse anybody that, I can't see behind me if there's anybody that would, I don't know, it's up to you.
Anybody's welcome to leave if they'd like. Not you.
Can I go? All right, let me connect. Cool. Slideshow. So before we start, we've known for some time we've been working as our Sex Ed Advisory Board to bring you a recommendation for curriculum update. So I'm gonna briefly go through where we've been, what we've done, because you all know the process that we started back in January with sending out a survey, getting applicants. You as a board, you reviewed the laws. Helen came in. Helen, thank you again for all your support. She's been wonderful as an asset from the state to support us through this. You reviewed the applicants, you screened them, you chose the members of Sex Ed Advisory Board, and then you left us to work. And it's been a lot of work. We put a ton of hours into where we're at. We're not all the way done yet, and I'll explain that, but we have our first recommendation for you today. So I appreciate you all for that. So tonight, Sex Ed Advisory Board, the board members, I think I have two of them here. Anybody else here? They've all been invited, but we have Chad McDonald from E3, we have Della Rollins, community member, parent, that are part of the board. They're here to support us tonight. But I'd like to say it's been a wonderful board. And we're proud to be here tonight with a unanimous recommendation to you, which, you know, going into it, I wasn't sure because I really didn't know these folks hardly at all when we went into it. So it's been great. Through the process, before you start, we came up with a mission statement. What is our mission? What is our purpose as it relates to the board? We looked through some different samples, some different state samples. I'll read briefly through them. I'm not going to read word for word, but basically our job is to establish program goals and objectives that are likely to reduce the rates of sex, pregnancy, and STDs within our Gaylord Community Schools. Our job is to review and recommend materials and methods that we will be delivering to our students. Our job is to make recommendations to you, the Board of Education, to approve what is taught for sex ed to our students. Our job is to evaluate, measure, and report the attainment of the program goals. So what we're doing, it's our job to analyze that and make sure that what we're doing is working. If not, get back to work and figure out a different path. Our job is to work closely with school administration in implementing the program. Our job is to review policy and or state guidelines, and we learned through this process the changes in state policy and guidelines. One being, it's the job of the Board of Education to appoint the Sex Ed Advisory Board and vote on that, and perform other duties suggested by the Sex Education Supervisor, Board of Education, or Superintendent of Schools. So that is our mission, and that is that's our base, that's where we set out. Our current recommendations, I will briefly go over this. We reviewed all current sex ed curriculum throughout the district, beginning with the high school, middle school, and GIS, where we do teach sex ed. And I'll briefly tell you what we found, and if you have more questions, you can certainly ask them through this process. One of the things that we did right off the bat was develop our lenses for curriculum. What is it that we want to see? What sticks to our core values and our belief system in delivering this information? And I will review those shortly. But in reviewing Gaylord High School and Gaylord Middle School, the sex ed portion of those classes are in the health classes, healthy living, nutrition, exercise, all those types of things. In reviewing those and having guest teacher speakers and reviewing that curriculum, at the time, we believe that they align with the lenses that we established as a Sex Ed Advisory Board, and I will explain those later on. Gaylord Intermediate School, we talked a little bit about the history. That is an area where we've traditionally taught HIV as required by law in 5th grade and then puberty in 6th grade. The materials that we had were very outdated. We were having some conversations this morning. They were very outdated, and they were actually destroyed in the process of trying to transfer them to DVD. They literally disintegrated. So our recommendation that we're bringing to you tonight is for 5th and 6th grade at GIS, based on our need. We don't have a curriculum there. So that's what we're going to recommend. High school and middle school, we're not done looking at it and analyzing it. This is a big project. We've met for many hours, and we have to go one step at a time. So we're going to continue to meet this school year and review middle school and high school to determine if we do, in fact, need to update that curriculum. Any questions? Okay. So let's talk about those lenses. For Gaylord Intermediate School, these were the lenses that we looked at when we compared curriculums. We had a number of different curriculums that we looked at that offer a variety of different subjects and units. And these are what we decided, or what we are recommending to you for the lenses for our 5th and 6th graders. Abstinence only education, Michigan A through K correlation, which we talked in length about that this winter, healthy relationships and consent, HIV, and puberty. So anything outside of those lenses is a no-go. There are other things, and there are other things embedded in some of the curriculums that we looked at, but we, as an advisory board and you as a school board, we decide we're not teaching those specific lessons, and you will see that in the material that I'll provide you later. Any questions about the lenses?
Are these lenses the same? They will be the same through all schools?
for GIS, for high
This is
school
these-
and middle school, the difference as it stands right now is absence-based.
Okay.
And you'll see the difference. The difference with absence only and absence based is when you get into high school, you kinda understand kids are doing things, and you gotta talk about that. But for 5th and 6th grade, it's no go, we don't do these things, it's abstinence only.
Okay.
Yep. So here are our recommendations. So by law, we're required to teach HIV and AIDS at every grade level, elementary, middle school, and high school. Traditionally, we've taught HIV in 5th grade, which is considered elementary. You could teach it all the way down to kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd. We're not doing that. We're gonna teach it in 5th grade. We are recommending Michigan Model for Health HIV curriculum grade 5. It is one lesson that is 45 minutes for the entire year. The learning objectives, what kids will learn in that one lesson for 45 minutes in a year is defining HIV and AIDS, identify how HIV is and is not transmitted, identify ways people can protect themselves from infection with HIV and other blood-borne infections, including not touching blood and use hypodermic or tattoo needles, and explain that it's safe to be friends with someone who is living with HIV and AIDS. I have here for you, again, these lessons are really hard for me because they're short, they are protected and embedded with usernames, passwords. So I have the, what I could get, and in these packets for board members, because you will have at least a month to review these, is username and passwords where you could go in and dig in a little bit deeper. Again, the lessons are pretty straightforward and upfront. And that is what we're recommending for 5th grade is Michigan Model HIV. Any questions? Okay. We, in our discussions with parents, students that we have in our community, on our committee, we did have students, wonderful students on our committee, wonderful parents, health officials, clergy. We talked about puberty in 5th grade. Traditionally, we have not taught puberty in 5th grade. And by that I mean, sometimes young ladies get their period in 5th grade. They don't know anything about deodorant, they don't have the resources. And we believe that it was important to introduce those concepts to kids in 5th grade. So we're adding a puberty section to our 5th grade that we have not done traditionally. What we're recommending is a curriculum called the Wonder Years, and we're recommending the 4th grade material because there's lessons embedded in the 5th grade material that we didn't think were appropriate for 4th grade. So we're hand picking and hand selecting lessons for what we're going to recommend to you. We're recommending within the curriculum lessons 1, 4, 5, and 6, and I'll show you what those are in a moment, and then you can ask questions. Lesson 1 is a climate for growth. What this means, it's a really brief, we dug into it, it's really simple. It's basically a quick lesson like, hey, we're gonna have some conversations here about your body. We're gonna split you between boys and girls. These are conversations that you're gonna have within this group. And then finding resources of people you could talk to. For example, young ladies that may reach their period in 5th grade talking about who's someone you could go talk to. Do you have a resource? So this is that first section. It's simply just building up the maturity to teach these lessons. Lesson 4 is puberty in the male-bodied people. Students will describe at least 5 changes that typically occur in male-bodied people during puberty, and students will display their communication skills by talking with a parent or other trusted adult about puberty. So we encourage kids, they have more questions, to go talk to parents or somebody that they trust outside the school. Lesson 5, puberty in the female-bodied people, same thing. Again, we separate. The girls go with the girls, the boys go with the girls, and they have those same conversations. And lesson 6, caring for the changes. Students will be able to explain ways to care for their bodies as they go through puberty, and then make a plan for maintaining personal hygiene during puberty. I taught it for years. I taught 5th and 6th grade, and a lot of conversations in the fall and the spring, like, guys, you got to put deodorant on. We can't do this. Like, I can't focus. So, how do you take care of your body? Cleanliness, taking showers, changing your clothes, those types of things. Those are the lessons for our 5th grade. I have here another packet for you. Again, this is all encrypted embedded. And when I give this to you, I'll explain it to you, what's on the front. And I'll show you how to access it.
Thank you, Dennis.
You're welcome. So what you have here is a synopsis, learning goals and objectives. You will see when you go through here, we have crossed out sections that we are not going to teach because they don't align with our lenses. So when you see it in here, we're not adopting this part. And when we train staff, if you approve it, it's off limits. It's off the tracks, don't go there, can't go there. Questions?
So I feel like you said on Thursday that the teacher, whoever's teaching this won't even get these lessons.
I don't know if it's possible.
Okay.
When we get down, if you approve this, and then I contact the company to purchase a curriculum, that's when I'll have it. Is there ways just to exclude it?
Okay.
Does that make sense? So, I'm gonna come back to this. On the front page, you'll see a login and username, that you will be able to log in and actually dig deeper into these things. And again, you'll have at least a month to do that, longer if you choose. And then, when I get through the PowerPoint, I'll jump in there and I'll show you how to navigate that and where to look. Okay? Any other questions about 5th grade? And we'll have more time for more. Videos. So there are 2 videos. They're each about 18 minutes long. They're called Meet the New You for girls, Meet the New You for boys. The girls will see one, the boys will see the other. They're about 18 minutes long. I'm going to show you one of the videos. There's 2 for each grade level, and the committee's here, and I think they'll support me. They're identical, other than in one video they have girls, the other one they have boys. So I'm going to show you one of these videos at the end, and then you'll see why I can't get they don't stream them, because these videos are on a USB and they're about $160 a piece. If I could stream them, I would give you the access. We can't. But at any time, if you're looking through and say, hey, I'd like to watch that, just come to my office, pick it up, and then you can go watch it. But I'll show you this towards the end. 6th grade. Again, we're not covering HIV. We did that in 5th grade. We cover HIV again in middle school, and then again in high school as required by law. Our recommendation to you is puberty, the Wonder Years 5th grade material. Again, we felt there were some lessons and units that didn't align with our lenses and were not totally appropriate, so we dropped it down a grade level. If you look in your packet, lessons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Lesson 1, that first one, hey, welcome. Let's be mature about this. We're going to talk about some things, and that's how you start those lessons. Lesson 2, and again, these are 6th graders using the 5th grade lessons. Puberty and the male reproductive system. Display their communication skills by talking to the parent or other trusted adult about puberty. That's the thing that we really liked about this, is kids are going to have questions. And part of the training for staff is we can't answer all these questions. So what we do is we help them identify people they could talk to outside of our classroom that they could get more answers from. Describe 5 changes that typically occur in people assigned male at birth during puberty after viewing a video about puberty. Again, we're going to watch that. And then identifying terms for the anatomy of the male reproductive system. Lesson 3, same thing but for females. And again, our 6th graders will be separated, males and females, and it's the same lessons, just different parts. Lesson 4, reproduction. Describe 2 key changes in puberty that indicate an individual is physically capable of becoming pregnant or getting someone pregnant, and then talking about the roles of egg, sperm, and intercourse in reproduction. The scientific part of it. And again, they're all separated. Boys in one room, girls in the other. Lesson 5, personal hygiene and healthy habits. How do they take care of themselves? And then the healthy habits is identify benefits of delaying close sexual contact, including prevention of STIs and pregnancy, by naming benefits and waiting. So that's the abstinence only. Like, if you don't do this, this won't happen. And then we talked a lot about this one, consent. And this is more like appropriate relationships and teaching kids, like, it's, you know, you're coming into an age, it's okay to say no, and then who do you go to if something's not okay? Who do you talk to when something just didn't make you feel right and that type of thing? Any questions about sixth grade? So again, there's 2 videos for sixth grade, around the corner for boys, around the corner for girls. These are the 2 videos. They're exactly the same, and you'll see what I mean when we watch these. All right, before I do that, we are going to go, I want to show you, so on the front of that Wonder Years packet, I have some directions. I have a website that you can go to, it's called pubertycurriculum.com. And I'm gonna show you, I gave you the username and everything, well, nobody can see it now, but I'll show you in a second. You can't either. And that's because I go here. Get out of this. Okay. So the username's my email address, which is fine. I wrote the password on there. That's for you. So to get here is, you go to this teacher login. So you're gonna act like a teacher. You're gonna go to that teacher login. 8 plus 2 is 10. And you log in. Once you're in here, and you can call, email if you get stuck, when you log down, when you go down, it says your curricula, and I wrote that on there, find your curricula, and then right underneath it says Wonder Years Digital Previews, click on that, and then you're in. So let's say you want to review the 4th grade, because that's what we're using in 5th grade. You guys, I mean, you know how to use a computer. There's a lesson that you can go through. You can go through the materials. There's 88 pages of materials here because it's scripted that much. But remember, this is less than an hour lesson. It's less than an hour with the video in there. So that's why I'm not tonight going through every single page of this. I'm giving you access to do that. Any questions about that? Okay. Again, if you have questions or concerns, that's where you go. That's how you get it.
Your
Okay.
committee has went through all of these lessons?
Yeah, we've gone through.
As a whole?
We have.
Okay.
We've gone through all this. That's how we got down to the lessons that we wanted to use. That's how we, you know, we screen these over and over and over again. So the next steps, you have, like I said, a month, 2 months. I don't think it will take that long. I don't think it should take that long. But the goal is you'll vote to approve these curriculum sets at some point this fall. I would like to see it in September if possible. This gives you a month to review, ask questions, dig deeper. That would be within the law. So again, the law states 2 open board meetings. The first one is tonight, we presented. The second one is another open board meeting where you vote. Once that happens, I'll work with the administrators to identify staff that will teach this material, and then we'll train those staff. Not every staff member gets trained. We select those staff members of the building that we think are good candidates to do that. Once staff is trained, we hold a parent informational meeting and we do the opt-out. And the parent informational meeting, and all of you have been parents in Gaylor schools, you go and you sit down, you watch a video, you get the slides, you do the whole shot, and then you're able to opt out if you choose as a parent. And then the final is delivering the information to the students. So that's the final steps. Any question?
I have 2.
Yeah.
What you're bringing to us for recommendation is unanimous amongst your
It is.
Committee.
100% unanimous recommendation, based on the lenses, based on the, I think we reviewed 6 or 7 different curriculums. And they all had pieces that aligned with our lenses, and they all had pieces that didn't align. We felt this was best for our students and our community, was the best presented, the most user-friendly for staff, and yes, 100% unanimous.
Okay.
I have one question.
The other curriculums that you watched or reviewed, did they cover the nutrition and exercise like that also? That which I feel is
They did,
Tremendous.
and some of the other curriculums, the presentation wasn't as good. So as far as, something the kids would relate to, there were some that were really dry,
Yeah.
just, just dry. They covered those aspects as a total health portion. But again, we're talking 1 hour lesson per year for those kids.
And we put 2 students on your committee. How have they interacted with you guys?
They were great. We had a young lady who was going into 7th grade. I think she's going into 7th grade, and she was rambunctious. She wanted more. Like, let's keep looking. And she was, honestly, she brought a lot of good points to the committee, super involved, super supportive. And then we had a young man from the high school that was, it was the same. Yeah, yeah, they did a nice job. Again, we've got health officials, we've got clergy, we've got students, we have parents. It's a great committee.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Anything
thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Be on the committee.
All right, new and unfinished business, we have none. Public input, we've finished all of those. We need one more.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion. James, Andrew?
Sarah?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes. Thank you all for coming.